Aaron, a.k.a. Matthew Berry.
That's pretty cool.
I am Chunky Ragu. You might have seen me in my previous video, the Park Bench Makeroo. Thank you very much. This is my friend Donkey, who will help me today. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Zachary, and I'm a new member of the Saucy Leopard channel.
And I am Boomer. I am the voice and the attacker from the awesome Boom Beach videos on our channel. They're pretty awesome. I recommend going and checking them out and hitting that like button on the videos and drop a comment down in the comment section below, and I will respond if it's a good one. And if it's so good, I will feature it in my next Boom Beach video. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, it's Chunky Ragu here. Coming at you live, it's your boy with the sleeper picks for week 9. These are people that are owned in 50% or less of fantasy football ESPN standard.com leagues, okay? Now, my first player that I have is J.J. Nelson, okay? He plays for the Arizona Cardinals, okay? He had 19 points last week, and he's a huge down-the-field threat. He had 2 touchdowns yesterday, so he's clearly sliding in to one of Carson Palmer's favorite positions. Next, I have Anton Smith, who is the starting running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who, as we know, are a run-heavy offense. Thank you very much, okay? With Jaquiz Rogers and Doug Martin still with injuries, look to pick him up in your league. Thank you. Jameson Crowder has scored over 10 points the past 3 weeks, and he's been targeted a lot of times. Even when he was at London, Kirk Cousins, the man, the myth, the legend, still found him as a high-value asset. Thank you very much. My next player that I have is Eric Ebron, tight end for the Detroit Lions. Okay, Matthew Stafford, Matthew Stafford is so dynamic, let me tell you, okay? He's very dynamic, and he has also seen Eric Ebron getting a lot of action, okay? He's targeted lots, and he's fresh off the injury. He's looking very nice. He's targeted 7 times last week. Next, we have Austin Hooper, another Tampa Bay Buccaneer, and another tight end making the list. He is playing the weak Tampa Bay defense, okay? And he has been targeted 5 times. Let me repeat that, 5 times, okay? And so, as you can see, Jameis Winston has really identified him as one of his favorite players on the field. Next, we have Mohamed Sanu. With Matt Ryan's huge arm, he's a deep threat, and he will showcase that in this week. Look to him to pick him up. All those players are smart decisions to pick him up. What do you think, Donkey? My name's Donkey. Okay. Next, we have Ezekiel Elliott. Now, this isn't a sleeper pick. This is just one of those players that is special, okay? He's projected 18 points this week. That is twice more than 9. He's gotten the ball over 20 times in every single week except 1 game this year. He's had 5 touchdowns this season, which is 2.5 times larger than 2. You guessed it. This season he leads the NFL in rushing yards, and with such a strong offensive lineman, including the Tyron Smith, look to him to explode this week against the Cleveland Browns, who, as we know, cannot tackle even a poop sack, okay? Thank you. This has been Chunky Ragu. I will send it over to my partner, Zachary Bebout, who is the cringiest guy I know. Zachary, what do you have for us?
Hi, I'm here today to talk about Tom Brady, who, after coming off of his suspension, he has averaged 27.5 points per game, which is probably the best in the league. He's also averaging 3 touchdowns and 329 yards per game. His favorite target, Rob Gronkowski, is a great tight end and probably the best one in the league. He is 18th in the position rank, even with 4 weeks of suspension. That tells you something. He's going to end the in my prediction, he will end the season with the most yards and touchdowns by a quarterback, and will end as the best quarterback. Now for the Week 9 positional rankings. Number 1 is Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Number 1 is Aaron Rodgers. Number 2 is Drew Brees. Number 3 is Andrew Luck. Number 4 is Matt Ryan. And number 5 is Cam Newton. At the running back position, number 1 is Ezekiel Elliott. Number 2 is Le'Veon Bell. And making a surprise in the top 5 is Carlos Hyde, who has a very favorable matchup against the Saints, who have the 32nd ranked defense in the league. Number 4 is Melvin Gordon. And number 5 is DeMarco Murray. The top 5 wide receivers for this week are at number 1, Julio Jones. At number 2, Mike Evans. At number 3, Antonio Brown. At number 4, T.Y. Hilton. And at number 5, Odell Beckham Jr. As my top 5 tight ends this week, number 1 is Greg Olsen. Number 2 is Jimmy Graham. Number 3 is Delaney Walker. Number 4 is Travis Kelce. And number 5 is Kyle Rudolph. Thank you. Now passing it on to Aaron.
Love-hate for Week 9 starts with Jameis Winston. Going up against the Atlanta Falcons on Thursday night. Very favorable matchup. Very dynamic player. Running back Devontae Booker for the Denver Broncos. Stepped in for C.J. Anderson, who was on the IR. Projected 14 points in standard leagues. Expect him to do very well this week. Running back Jay Ajayi has been very good the last 2 games. Coming off a bye, expect him to have another big game. My 2 wide receivers that I'm loving, Michael Thomas and Dante Moncrief. Moncrief come back from an injury, has caught 2 touchdowns in the 3 games he's played in. Michael Thomas quickly becoming one of the Drew Brees' favorite targets. Now for the hate, Eli Manning. He and Odell Beckham have not been in sync recently. Doesn't really have any top receivers. Running back Frank Gore going up against the Broncos. Not a very good matchup for him. Running back Matt Asiata. Vikings have one of the worst run defenses in the league. And 2 wide receivers that I hate are Marvin Jones and Michael Crabtree. And the final tight end that I hate is Hunter Henry. Antonio Gates has been stealing a lot of his targets and catches recently. So that's my love-hate.
Okay. Hello, guys. I am Pete, as you know. Or also, if you prefer, Boomer, the awesome guy behind the Boom Beach videos. Now I am ready here to talk to you about probably the best tight end in the NFL, in my personalized opinion, Tyler Eifert. He's very good. Coming back from his injury, he got in the Pro Bowl, which is one of the reasons you don't go to the Pro Bowl even if you're that good. He got 9 receptions, 101, and a touchdown against the Washington Redskins. Even though the game was in London, he still put up the most impressive numbers I can imagine. He's one of the best. He's the red zone hero on the Cincinnati Bengals. The struggling Cincinnati Bengals this year look to their tight end to get them the wins, which he came in pretty hard in the first game back from his injury. Last year, with 12 touchdowns, he proved that he was Andy Dalton's favorite target near the end zone. He proved that again this past week, getting the touchdown with a total of 100 yards! That's insane! No players are that dynamic where they can do it all. Yards and touchdowns. Tyler Eifert is the man, the myth, the legend when it comes to being awesome. He has such a bad quarterback, and he still can do it. Andy Dalton is not an elite quarterback, folks, but Tyler Eifert still gets the job done. He is a great guy. So good, very good, amazingly good. There's not much more I can say. He's just so good. And I want to go and prove my point once more. Tyler Eifert is the best tight end in football right now. Thank you. Now to go on to the injury report. Number 1, LeSean McCoy. He is owned in 99% of fantasy leagues, and you better get him off your team right now. I'm just kidding. He's really good, but he's injured. He's been set out the last 2 games with a hamstring injury, which is kind of a newbie injury in my opinion. If you get a hamstring injury, that just proves how weak you are. You can easily stretch it out. Just sit and reach. Jeez, I don't know what's up with these people. They get lame injuries. If you're going to get an injury, go put your head into somebody and get a huge injury. Not just a newbie hamstring injury that anybody can defend against. Seriously. Wait. So I would recommend trying to get him healthy so he can really help your team. Either now, trade him, or you keep him. One of those two. Do not put him on your bench, folks. Next, Doug Martin. Also struggling from a stinky injury of a hamstring. It's pathetic. How many people go down with a hamstring injury? He's missed the last 5 games due to his hamstring injury. That's just unacceptable in the NFL. They can easily protect themselves from that. It's insane. I think he's terrible. I recommend dropping him. Either that or get some newbie wide receiver out of him. Because he stinks. He's not even worth it. Just get him off your team now before you have no chance. The trade deadline is coming up in a couple weeks, folks. Get him off your team. And finally, another guy who's always injured. Jamal Charles. He's got the worst knees in the world. It's hard to break your knees and injure them so much, but he manages to do it. He's got the most knees in the NFL. It's pathetic. I can't even imagine how he does it. He always has a knee injury. It's pathetic. He's in the NFL. He should train himself for all this stuff. It's pathetic. So I recommend trading him. There's some people in your league who probably don't know how to play fantasy football. Trade it to one of those people and get him off your team. He's never going to become healthy. He's always injured. Get him off your team while you have the chance. As for me, I'm Boomer, saying goodbye.
Thanks, guys, for watching. I hope you loved that video. We loved making it. For now, I'm Chunky Ragu. This is Aaron, a.k.a. Drink Bleacher. Okay, this is Bebout, a.k.a. I go to bedwetters camp every summer. And Boomer behind the camera, what do you have to say?
I have to just let you guys know that there is another Boom Beach video coming out soon. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and turn on the notifications so you are the first to see it. That's all I have to say. Throwing it back to you, Chucky Ragu.
Very exciting stuff. And if we get 20 likes, whoever has the best comment down below, we will vote on. We will do that in our next video. Signing off for now, it is the Saucy Leopard Trick Shot Brothers. Woo!
Boom!